Alright, good morning, and I couldn't get the live stream to work, so what I'm going to do today is try to get you guys to see the ILS 27 into Hagerstown. I'm going to put it on autopilot because with the camera here I cannot get in front of this thing. So we're going to unpause it here in a moment, and once we unpause it, we're going to fly the approach. I'm going to leave it the visual VMC conditions just so you can see what's going on here on the Redbird TD2. So let's go ahead and get everything set up. So before I hit the unpause, I'm going to come down here, CDI, I'm going to put it to nav 1, make sure I have my proper frequency. Right now it's got the incorrect frequency, so let's go ahead and put that in. There is the incorrect frequency. Once I put the correct frequency in, you're going to see the identification pop up. So you have India Hotel Golf Romeo. We are shooting the localizer into Hagerstown, so that is correct. Once that's correct, I have us already set at 4,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and set the pre-select altitude for this at 4,000 feet as well. So pre-select is at 4,000. You can see my little bug here, 4,000. I'm at 4,000. Heading bug, right now, where's my, there it is. Right now I'm just going to have it set here and I'll tweak it here momentarily. But I always want the heading bug up top when I shoot these approaches. I don't have the speakers on, so you will not hear any volume, sounds, things like that for this particular video. But on my MFD, my multifunction display over here, you'll be able to see everything that's going on. Right now it looks like we're inside of P40, so I guess if this was real life, we'd be potentially losing our license for at least a year. So hopefully I started us far enough back. If not, we'll just move us around and get us going. So I'm going to go ahead and unpause this here. There it is. Machine's going to go all wonky on me, so I'm going to go ahead and put autopilot on, hit the altitude. It's already got altitude 4,000. We're still in roll mode, so I'm going to give it a heading mode. Watch it go ahead and straighten itself out, and it's going to put me right back on that heading bug that I have us set at. So since it's at 4,000, it's capturing 4,000. It's got alt, A-L-T. If I were to change the altitude, obviously, I'll show you what that does in a few minutes here. But anyway, it's recapturing my altitude. Sorry, it's got my altitude, recapturing my heading. I'm going to go ahead and change my heading bug here to 030 for this particular situation. And we'll let it fly it for a few minutes here. And I'll show you what's going on while it is flying the approach. So you can see we are south of, there's Hagues, which is our initial approach fix, if you have your approach plate in front of you. Which I would highly advise so that you can follow along. You can see here I'm kind of still flying this direction, so go ahead and let's put, for now, heading 050, just to get us going. There we go, 050. Because the way I want to do this, I want to give us radar vectors for a straight in from Hagues. Alright, there we go, that's looking good. Everything I'm happy with. Alright, so as you see here, we're at 4,000 feet. We've already identified the localizer frequency here. If this was real world, I would make sure I didn't have any dead frequencies. Over here I could. The missed approach frequency is going to be 115.0, so I could go ahead and put that one in there. Have it on the standby in case we do have to go miss while we have a little bit of time to play around here. And yeah, I'm okay with that. If I want to go ahead down to nav 2, if I want to back up, double verify these, I could go ahead and put 109.0 and put that in the, oops, and go ahead and put that in the active. So 109.0, what that is that's Frederick, and if you look on the approach plate, you'll see that that is a way to identify Hagues and Nolan off of their respective radios off of Frederick. And you can see FDK has popped up in here. So right now, 050 doesn't seem to be too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and give just a little bit more correction because of where I started us. So I'm putting us in 060. Still got 4,000 feet. Airspeed I'm happy with. Everything's looking good in that regard. So no issues there. I'm going to come out here. once again, just giving us radar vectors, keeping it easy for what we're doing today. I can go ahead and do course reversals, things like that if I want it. And you know what? Why not? I'm talking about this, so let's go ahead and let's give us a course reversal at Higgs. Make it easy on ourselves. So while that's going on, I'm giving us a heading direct to Higgs. I could put direct to Higgs, but I'm just doing a heading here. I'm going to put my timer up here so it is here and ready to go. So when I get to Higgs, there we go. I like that. Okay, so when I get to Higgs, I'm going to go over here to nearest, and we'll go intersection. Oops, that's auxiliary. There we go, nearest intersection. So you can see Higgs is 2 miles on a 034. So the 034 is what I have tuned in. It'll get us to Higgs. 1.8 situational awareness. I have everything working for me in the aircraft. Double verifying that I am at 4,000 feet. Everything's looking good. I'm on heading mode. Autopilot. Altitude is at 4,000 currently. Coming up on Higgs, 1 mile to go. I could get my aircraft situated here, getting it prepared for the approach mode. So if I need to slow it down, throw some flaps in, whatever. But for this demonstration, for this experiment here, I'm just going to keep us right where we are. So the inbound course for Higgs is essentially 089. So when we get up here, I'm going to go ahead and do a teardrop entry for this approach. You can see 0.2, 0.0. We are at Higgs. So now I'm going to fly a heading of 060. There's 060. It's coming up on it. We're going to go ahead, once we get wings level, fly for 1 minute. Don't want to cheat ourselves, because the reason we're doing this is to get ourselves turned around. So if we rush and cheat ourselves, we may not get there. So here we come. We're coming up wings level. Going to go ahead and start my timer. There it is. Start my timer. Flying outbound for 1 minute on a heading of 060, which is 30 degrees off of the inbound radial. Excuse me. Okay, coming up on 15 seconds here, not doing anything crazy, trying to maintain 4,000 feet. And since we are in VMC conditions in this demonstration, looking outside for other aircraft. If we were in IMC, obviously, it'd be kind of hard to look for other aircraft. Okay, coming up here on 30 seconds. The reason I keep saying the time out loud is situationally, I'm keeping my brain in the game so that I know I don't overshoot and don't get disoriented. So this just helps me. Coming up on 15 seconds before we start our inbound turn. Localizer, everything's looking pretty good. 10 seconds. And here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to go ahead and start our inbound turn. So now we're doing our T's. Turn, time, twist, throttle, tune, talk. So turn. We know that it is. There we go. 2, 6, 9. There we go. Perfect. Oops. No. And see, that's the problem with autopilot. If you got right here and this happens to you, autopilot disconnect and immediately hand fly it until the computer figures out what it wants to do. Last thing you want to do is try to chase the autopilot. Autopilot disconnect, hand fly it, then re-engage once everything is where you want it to be. Because remember, there's probably aircraft in front of you, and there's probably aircraft behind you. So lead it a little bit, as you see. And now I'm going to intercept, not put the inbound heading, since we're tracking the heading, not put it at 269, but I'm going to go ahead and put it 30-degree intercept. So I'm going to go ahead and put 240. And the reason I'm doing that is because, let's say the winds are pushing us or something. I just go ahead and fly immediately, turn to a heading of 269. All it's going to do is parallel my track. But you can see now that the localizer needle is coming in. So as it comes in, I'm going to continue to walk the needle in, or continue to walk the heading bug in. as the needle continues to come in. So we'll just keep walking it in here, walking it in. And while I'm doing that, I'm coming over here to my MFD, looking how far we are from Higgs. It's saying 4.2. I'm going to stop my turn here because you see the needle has not centered. So I'm going to wait for it, allow it to walk itself in, and as it walks itself in, I'm going to go ahead and slowly bring my heading bug in little by little. Just walking it in. That's all I'm saying. Walking it in. Coming over here, Higgs is still 3.5. That's where we're going to make our initial radio contact. Typically, that's what they're going to tell you. Report Higgs inbound. Excuse me. So we are doing that. Let's go ahead and give us a couple degrees of correction here. Not much, just a little bit. You can see I overestimated my heading bug and now the needle stopped. I want the needle to center. So all I did is bring the heading bug back over about 3 or 4 degrees. Okay, needle is slowly coming in. Higgs is over here, 2.4 miles. Okay, needle's almost centered, so I'm going to go ahead and walk it in just a little bit more, a couple degrees out. Remember, this is autopilot, so I am tweaking it. Higgs, 1.4 miles to go. Needle's looking good. Go ahead and tweak it just a little bit more. Almost have it perfectly lined up. That's exactly where I want it. I can see my glide slopes up here, but I'm not worried about that right now. I want to cross Higgs at or above 4,000. ATC would have most likely told me. Here we go, 269, 269. Everything's perfect. We got a center needle. If anything, we may be 1 degree off. If need be, I'll tweak that momentarily. Higgs coming up on 0.4. Higgs is 0.2. Higgs 0.1. And now we're crossing Higgs. So at this point I would call ATC, let them know that Redbird 172 Romeo Bravo, because that's what it says on the screen here, is Higgs inbound on the ILS 27 for Hagerstown. And they would tell me 127 Romeo Bravo, report Nolan. So I would just report Nolan. So you can see over here, we're looking for Nolan. Nolan's still too far out with the points I have in here. Actually, Nolan, 8.9 miles. And it's telling us Nolan is 271 in front of us. So we could see that right in here. This is an older Redbird database. So we're just using what they had when we purchased this unit years ago. So it may be just a degree or two off of what you're seeing on the approach plate as you're following along. But remember, the Earth's magnetic field is always moving, so things are going to change a degree or two here or there over the years. Okay, so you can see my localizer is looking really nice here. Nolan over here, 7.5. Happy with everything so far. Everything's looking nice. Just monitoring our systems. Here I can put an altitude pre-select since we have passed Nolan, or sorry, past Higgs. And the next altitude we're looking for is 2,900 feet. Now I can either descend down to 2,900 feet and intercept the glide slope there, or I can maintain 4,000 and intercept the glide slope prior to. Glide slope is alive. What I'm going to aim here for is I'm going to hit approach mode. Now, if you look out in front of you, you will see that the airport is off center, but that's just a Redbird thing. but you see the needles are essentially pegged. All right, we're coming up here, so I'm going to get ready to start my vertical speed. And I'm going to descend at, I've already estimated it, to approximately 500 feet a minute. Thousand. That's why it blinked at us. It's letting us know we're 1,000 feet prior. We can see our airport out in front of us here. Nolan is 3 miles. Localizer's coming back in. I kind of let it get sloppy there a little bit. We're just a little bit underneath of glide slope, but we're almost pegging glide slope now. Okay, I had us at 400 foot per minute. I'm going to go ahead and continue us down to 500 foot per minute. You can see I'm in vertical speed mode for this approach, and everything's looking good. We'll let us capture here. Got a little bit above it, so we're going to go ahead and increase it down to 600 feet for a moment or two. Happy with this. Obviously, we are coming up on Nolan here. 1 mile to go. Everything's looking good. Localizer's off just a little bit, but that's my own fault. Somebody knocked at the door, got distracted. Okay, it's blinking at us, letting us know we're within 200 feet of our pre-selected altitude. There's outs. And then you're going to momentarily see out come over here. Out selected. Now we're going to go ahead and pre-select. There we go. So we're going to continue down. And you see, because I continue, because I continue down there, okay, coming up on Nolan. Oops, actually, I'm inside Nolan. See someone knocks at the door and I get all disoriented. That's okay. So here I don't want to make, since I'm inside the final approach fix, I don't want to be making any huge corrections. I want to stay somewhere right around 5 degrees max heading corrections. And that's about it. For what we're doing, we can see a glide slope's coming back in here. So as it's coming back in, we're going to go ahead and shallow out our descent, not do anything crazy here. There we go, good. So you can see we're right on our localizer, right on our glide slope, monitoring everything, coming up on 1,000 prior to minimums. There it is. It's going to flash at us from our pre-selected. Remember, we're just tweaking here. Everything is fine-tuning at this point. We're not doing anything crazy. A little bit more, so I'm going to give us an extra 100 feet on the glide slope here. Not doing anything crazy here. This is where you get in trouble if you start chasing the needle erratically. Small fine-tuning. Everything's looking good. Maybe just a dot. Half dot high. There we go. Okay, coming up to 500 minimums. There it is, 500 minimums. And the reason we're saying that out loud is just to keep our brain in the game, to know that we are still working this. Even though obviously for this demonstration we can see outside, we're working the systems here. So we're tweaking just a little bit. Localizer still looking good. Glide slope still, it's getting away from us a little bit, but it is visual. 200 feet to minimums. You can see we went from vertical speed to outs captured. Coming up to minimums. And just like that, there's your airport in front of you. I'm going to go ahead and pause the simulator. And yeah, that's all she wrote. You can see 2 red, 2 white. Because of the Redbird is the one that has this offset a little bit. But you can see we pretty much stayed right on. This is off a little bit, but you got 2 red, red over, or yeah, white over red. Everything's looking good there. So we shot the approach correctly, and yeah, just a demonstration. If this works out, because I have not uploaded the Redbird filming on a screen, we'll see how the quality comes out. And if it looks good, I'll shoot more, and if not, I guess I won't, or I'll try a different way to do it. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.